So, good afternoon once again. Let's continue our discussions on the learning style. So, for a while, let me share to you our presentation. So, going back on the discussion on the uh, this one, the learning style. This was proposed by Don and Don, or designed by Rita Dunn and Kenneth Dunn. So this is the model. There are elements, and there are also what we call the stimuli. The stimuli has these following features. We have the environmental, and its elements are considered to be the sound, no? Whether you like it or you prefer to learn more while having the background music or sounds, no? There are also prefer not to have sounds while they are having their learning, or their how they study the lesson. And there are also type of learners who prefer to have good lighting or dim light. And of course, there are, excuse me, there are also students who would like to have it in a cool temperature, and depending also on the design that they have in their study room or the physical environment. When it comes to emotional, it comes to its in stimuli. There we can also talk about its motivation, who makes you motivated, and what is your drive of studying your lessons. And then we have also the responsibility, the task persistence. If you are consistent to work with your tasks in this time, or depending on the situation, and also the structure. And let's have another stimuli. You have the sociological. You prefer to learn by your own, that is by yourself. If you are alone, you would like to have it in your own self, or you would like also to have someone, a pair, or your peers, you have the same interest. And you may also study or learn through different teams. So, for example, inside the classroom, there are students would like or prefer to have a group or individual, depending on their interests. Or you would like it in by working with an adult, or variant, depending on your options, or your preferability, how you prefer to learn with. Physiological, so depending on the senses, we all know that our learners are, most of them are audio visual learners. Depending also on your intake, your mobility, and the time of the day, whether you like it on early in the morning, or early dawn, or in the noontime, or the afternoon, or in the midnight, or in the evening. Then in the psychological, you have the analytical, the global, reflective, and the impulsive. So this time we will go into details of the learning style model presented by Don and Don. So these elements is provided. We have the first one, we have the environmental. This refers to the elements depending on the lighting, the sound, the temperature, of course, the seating arrangement. There are some students who would like to be seated in front. There are some students to be seated with their friends, their peers. So that is the modality, of the type of seating arrangement. For example, some people need to study in a cool and a quiet environment. Some people would like to have it in a fresh air, and others cannot focus unless they have music playing. We can observe some students who are doing like that. And it is warm, sound, and temperature elements. That's for the environmental. But when we talk about the emotional, this includes the following elements that who serves as your motivation, your persistence, your consistency of the task that you are doing, depending on the emotions that you have, your responsibility, and the structure. Example for this, some people must complete a project or a task before they start a new one. And there are some also would like to do it in the multitasking pattern or model. So multitasking, there are some students or learners can do multitasking. There are some also cannot do it in a multiple task variation. There are some students or learners can do one at a time. That's the the model that we are using. Sociological. This represents the Elements related to how individuals learns in association with other people, such as there are some other individual who like it to work alone or with your peers, or someone who has an authority adult or the collegial or the colleague, learning variety of ways of routine patterns. For example, a number of people need to work alone when tackling or discussing a new and difficult subject, while others learn best when working with colleagues or other individuals. Learning alone or with peers element. Ecological, this strand focuses on the perceptual, whether you are auditory, visual, tactile, and kinesthetic. No, again, as I said, most of our learners, especially the young learners, are audiovisual learners. They need something to see, they need to something that they have here, or they have can touch, or they can move. And also, it talks about the time of the day, your energy levels. Most of the students, learners, intake also take eating or not while studying. No, mobility, sitting still or moving around. Example of this, many people refer to themselves as night owls because they would like to study in the evening. Mga nocturnal, no? Early birds because they function best at night or in the morning, time of the day element. Psychological, the elements in this strand correspond to the following types of psychological processing: the hemispheric, impulsive or reflective, the global versus the analytical. The hemispheric element refers to the left and the right brain processing modes. The impulsive versus the reflective. No? So there are students who are impulsive. There are also some students who need to reflect something before making actions. This describes how people leap before thinking and others scrutinize situation before moving an inch. Global and analytical elements are unique in comparison to other elements because these two elements are made up of distinct clusters of elements found in the other four strands. The elements that determine global and analytic process styles are sound, the light, the sitting arrangement, the persistence, sociological preference, and intake. Global and analytical processing styles will be discussed on the detail in the next following sessions. So those are the 5 area of the elements of the done and done learning style model. Now we'll be talking about who is a professional teacher. Now, the professional teacher is a licensed professional who possesses dignity and reputation with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence. So we are done on the very first part of our discussion, the identity of a learner, and now we have the teacher who is considered to be the authority inside the classroom. So there is what they call the professional teacher. So what is the characteristics of a teacher? No, he or she has with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence. He or she addresses to observes and practices the set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values, which is stated in the principle of the Code of Ethics of Professional Teachers in 1997. The professional teacher is one who went through 4 years, so because it's the degree, but right now we have you as a future librarian or whatever profession that you finish or degree, you may also have the chance to become a professional teacher. You just get the unit, another units, or what we call the certificate of teacher program. No, so the professional teacher is one who went through the 4 to 5 years of rigorous academic preparation in teaching, in one who is given a license to teach by the Board of Professional Teachers of the Professional Regulatory Commission or Regulation Commission, or the PRC, after fulfilling the requirements prescribed by the law, such as passing the license or examination for teacher or LEP. He or she is registered in the roster of the professional teacher and the Professional Regulation Commission and undergoes continuing professional education or the continuing professional development, or the CPD. So now let's scrutinize the identity of a teacher, a professional teacher. The first one is the professional attributes. So who is a teacher? By the way, by his professional attributes, he perceives or she perceives himself or herself as someone who can effect change. Because there in the definition of learning, that learning, it involves change, or that is why it is associated with the word of learning. The sense of efficacy, because he or she is an expert. Okay, so meaning to say, he is an expert of his content, no, of his major, of his or her field, no, teaching his or her subject matter or the knowledge, the content, and in how or she teaches the pedagogical knowledge. So when we talk about the expertise of the content, that is what we call the mastery of the subject matter and the content knowledge. While on the delivery of how these lessons to be delivered in the class, that's what we call the pedagogical knowledge. These are the strategies, the methodologies, the approaches, the philosophical foundation, the philosophical thoughts that guides him or her in his teaching. Now, the professional possesses the following attributes: the control of knowledge based on teaching and learning and use of knowledge to guide the science and art of his or teaching practice. So in our observation, especially in the public school, this is not to degrade or to criticize the public school. Most of those teachers who are handling that specific subject is not qualified because this is what we call, there is a mismatch of content expertise. There are some instances that you are a Filipino teacher, but you are obliged to teach science subject. So by that, you cannot possess the professional attributes. Going back to our discussion on this slide, you should have perceive yourself as an expert of the content knowledge. No? As the saying goes, you cannot give what you don't have. No? If you are teaching Filipino, of course, you're expected to teach Filipino, the competencies in Filipino. But however, if you're teaching mathematics, it's so difficult because you need to study again and again the competencies of that subject area. Next, we have the repertoire, best teaching practice. Okay, and use this to instruct children in the classroom to work with adults in the school setting. Third one, you have the disposition and skills to approach all aspects of your work in a reflective, collegial, and problem-solving manner. The fourth one, view of learning to teach as a lifelong process. As we all know, that educative process is a lifelong process. No? And dispositions and skills for working towards improving his or her own teaching as well as improving schools by attending seminars, by professional growth, professional development, by sending yourself to different training, seminars, workshops that can develop your profession or through graduate study.